Okay, everybody, game number 2, and we have Cursed Hollow now being played. Game number 2 of the day. This is still the best of one, of course, that we have here. The Goofers versus the Gringos now, after the mysterious monkeys were just defeated a few seconds ago. Again, the draft is, of course, all about, like, Tyrande. There we have her, our girl with the green hair, and usually Khaldor. It's a bit interesting to see that the Gringos actually ban out Tyrande first, because usually that doesn't really happen. Most of the teams, when you go into a draft, they ban out something else, and they put the opponent into a position where they have to choose of either banning out Tyrande and letting her go, giving Khaldor to the other team, or if they really want to just like allow Khaldor plus Tyrande in the draft and ban out something completely different. So it's interesting that the Gringos in this case go for Tyrande ban right off the bat. Maybe they have a bit of a drafting strategy here for Cursed Hollow. Gonna find out. The Goofers ban out Uther, and that also means, of course, the two of the supports are gone immediately. The Goofers not with a ban on Khaldor, so they're already signaling, hey, listen up, we're completely fine going up against the Khaldor, and the Gringos, they are just like sitting there and saying, like, what, you didn't ban Khaldor? Well, thank you very much for that. We're going to take that bad boy. So, chain bombs everywhere. We're going to have a lot of fire firing around, and the Goofers right away with a Thrall. Thrall plus ETC. So that is already starting to become a bit interesting. The Goofers actually really like to go for that particular combo, and it's kind of funny. I mean, you really have to coordinate your ultimates properly if you really want to play those two together. There is quite a bit of synergy that you can have if you play it right. Not really with the ultimate, though, because, well, there's nothing that looks more stupid than having an ETC rocking in, hitting that perfect mosh pit, and Thrall says, no you don't, and hits that Sun Ring and pushes everybody out. Can look pretty silly, but, well, in this case, the Goofers, they go for it. So, they're of course not going to try to hit those tools, but as long as they can really zone opponents, maybe push them in, that's all that they need to really do here. Falstad is an immediate pick after. I actually expected the Goofers to take Falstad now, because normally that's a very early pick on Cursed Hollow, since you have, of course, access to the tributes, to the two bosses. The Mighty Gust is extremely valuable in such a situation, and that's now exactly what's currently being done by the Gringos. They not only get Khaldor, but they also get Falstad. They're going to be pretty happy with that, I can tell you that much. Another ban on a support. Interesting, since the Gringos actually have a Charism taken. So the Goofers don't really have a support yet, but they are the ones to ban out Tacita. So the Gringos can now go into a ban on maybe Rhaegar. There's still, of course, also that Malfurion around. That would be great against Khaldor. But there's a couple of things that you really need to consider here. First of all, the Gringos are playing Khaldor. So having Tranquility available to you is a pretty cool thing. At the same time, though, the Goofers are on a Thrall. They want to have something that can really keep him alive. And a Rhaegar with also, of course, that lightning shield, but also that on-target heal, plus in addition the ancestral healing, is pretty valuable in this scenario. So both of these healers can be quite strong. The Gringos are not going to ban out any of those. They're just saying, okay, let's put Sylvanas out there first, because they don't want to get silenced during these fights, and Sylvanas can be a bit of a pain. That still allows the Goofers to go into that ETC and Jaina composition, Mosh Pit into Blizzard, into Ring of Frost, into like Cone of Cold, like a lot of burst damage that you have on the hero, and they can still take their healer. But, of course, in this case, there is no bans anymore, so they can wait with the healer for last. It's kind of unlikely that the Gringos are going to go full ham on a second healer in this case, with the charism that they already have. They played a pretty interesting setup in the last game, of course, since they played a Tyrande plus a charism, but right now, it's very unlikely that they're going to do that, since not only Tacita, but also Tyrande, which would have comboed very well with charism in such a scenario, are banned out. So the Gringos most likely going to play that charism as a full healer and as a solo healer at that. They still need a tank at the front line. Have a couple of options in this case. Tyrael, by the way, has not been banned nor picked at this point, and Tyrael is usually quite popular on Cursed Hollow because he can easily take, after level 16, those bosses away. So it's still an option that the Gringos have, but of course Tyrael as a solo tank is not really the best frontline. Muradin hasn't even been picked yet, so it's kind of crazy to see that Muradin has been completely let go. I like that the Goofers went for Jaina and Vala here for like damage, because it gives them the opportunity to rely on the cooldown based damage of Jaina, use Vala with a multi-shot, but at the same time also her auto attacks. But the Gringos are in a situation, to be honest with you, I would go for Muradin plus Tyrael in this setup that they're running here right now. It looks pretty sweet. You have the shields on Tyrael, you have also like Sanctification, which can be used against Jaina. ETC is also another hero that can really use that. And you have already damage with Falstad and Khaldor, so then there's no real need to go for even more damage. I would drop that Tyrael right now. Muradin was more or less a given after he wasn't taken by the first earlier. But Tyrael in this setup, like, you can do so much. I mean, in theory, It's never going to happen, but still, we can dream. You could go into Hinterland Blast plus Judgment. As Sonya is also a pretty sweet hero to take in this case. I'm still a bit surprised that they don't pick Tyrael, because it caters very well to the map. If you have Hold Your Ground, then Holy Ground later, then you have just a tool that can really help to zone the opponent down. It's not only good for stealing the boss away, but it's also great when you are the Tribute and you're trying to just like zone the opponent away. But Sonya, of course, can dish out a lot of damage, and Muradin is usually in a position where you can quite easily protect her and help her out when she goes deep. But in this particular setup, I personally thought they would go for Tyrael. Not that Sonya is a bad choice at all, but yeah, Tyrael would have definitely been another option for them. So the Goofers, they need to go for the support, right? They have their range damage, they have Thrall as a melee assassin, he can help out ETC at the front line, Malfurion and Rhaegar, the two heroes that they can think about, or they can play Brightwing, have a bit of counterplay against Falstad, especially when Falstad is trying to use that Mighty Gust to steal a boss away. Polymorph, if you go for Peekaboo, can be really nice. Like, you jump in at the perfect time, you get the vision. If Falstad is behind the wall waiting for a Mighty Gust, you can just simply like polymorph him in the last second, and then you go in and take the boss away. So those are the three options that are the most likely for them right now, and all of them are valid. Like, all of them have some advantages that you can use. Malfurion with Tranquility is great against Kalthas, can really help out with that. Rhaegar is the best healer here probably right now to only support Thrall, and Brightwing for the mobility, and also that, of course, polymorph that you have, not only to lock down Falstad, but at the same time to maybe do the same thing with Sonya. They decide to go for Malfurion to really counter out Kalthas a little bit more. That helps, of course. In the early game, you can also use Innervate to give Jaina a bit more mana, which is quite nice too. And you have the potential lockdown with the root after the follow-up, after ETC or Thrall started to really lock somebody down. So it's a pretty solid setup here for the two teams right now. The Goofers, they went into Malfurion, which is actually quite rare on the European server. Very, very popular on the North American server. Europe doesn't really play with Malfurion these days. But the Goofers are going for him, and this should be a pretty fun one. So guys, we're going to go into the game on Cursed Hollow between the Goofers and the Gringos. Cursed Hollow is the map, everybody, and we see the Goofers going up against the Gringos. The Degringolade Gaming, the French team, currently playing to the right side of the map, but for now the Goofers starting here with Lotus on ETC. We have Blade playing Thrall right now, and as you can tell, of course, BZ is currently on Vala. We have at the same time Nasty playing Jaina, and Malfurion is being played by Bims. To the right side of the map, we see the Gringos, the Degringolade Gaming. They were successful in the first round against the Mysterious Monkeys. With Toulouse on Kalthas, we have Nehi on Falstad, Zdoon on Muradin, Arcane on Sonya, and Buzz Driver is playing Karazim. So both of the teams currently running a solo tank combo here. Both of them with more or less a melee assassin at their side. I mean, if you are nitpicking, then of course Sonya is a warrior as well, but she's not really a tank. She's one of those frontliners that is more classified as a bruiser, I'd say. When it comes to talents here, we have on level 1, again, Moonburn taken for Malfurion. We're seeing ETC going into rolling like a stone, no proc rock for him. The team is not really trying to burst down the tower here at the beginning of the match, which is extremely popular, of course. I mean, it went so far that sometimes we even see forts bursted down in the first minute. Nice damage against Arcane, and the kill against Sonya. Well played. Lotus seems like he's getting away. Yes, gets healed by Malfurion. And therefore the first kill in the game for the Goofers. Well played here. We see Sonya with a Shot of Fury on level 1. And we have Transcendence as expected as the level 1 talent on Karazim, which this time is not played as a damage dealer, since of course he is the only healer in the setup. Same time though, we have again Mana Addict on 1 and Seasoned Marksman taken here for Falstad. So pretty much the builds that you would expect with this particular setup that the teams are running. There could have been a couple of adjustments, I suppose. I mean, when we're talking about, for example, Thrall, then we have a lot of different builds that are all viable if you want to play them. We have seen Jaina go into Deep and Lingering Chill on level 1, but the most popular build these days is still going for Conjurer's Pursuit on level 1, and then straight into Snowstorm and Frostbitten on level 7. There's a couple of shards build as well, where you can go into the Frostbolt and focus on that. But for now, the team's just like with very solid starts into the game. Again, the AoE built on Vala too, of course, with the multi-shot here. And on the map here in particular, Falstad is of course going to try to give his team a bit of an advantage with his fly ability, trying to join those fights for the tributes, maybe a little bit later to soak the extra experience on a lane, burst down one of those waves. It's very careful that the two teams are approaching. It's 2 minutes in, we're seeing the camp spawn on the map, and that's of course also when we're having the first few heroes going straight for the mercenary camps. In this case, it's the Siege Giants they're going to try and take down. To the left side, we have Lotus and Nasty on the job, and to the right, it's in this case Sonya plus Harrison. The boss, in case that you didn't know, spawns 3 minutes into the game, so early on I don't really think that any of these guys are going to go for it. We have, of course, a couple of heroes that can take a boss early on. I think the best hero in the game, or the two best heroes to really take a boss, is still like Gazlo, maybe with a little bit of support, but even like Rexa is even better than that. Rexa together with Micha, I mean, it can really take that boss early. It's just like that in a lot of cases for a lot of these heroes. It takes quite some time to do that, and if your opponent surprises you, then you're suddenly in trouble. A move down to the bot lane, a bit of help there, and Karazim being attacked, but he should have a dash ready for this. Yeah, Bus Driver without any problems getting out of this one. Level 4 talents now for both of the teams. They're at level 5 right now, and there is that Snowstorm that we've been talking about. Arsenal has a level 4 talent for Vala. We already have also Thrall with an Chain Lightning talent, and we see a channel on the Tribute, but Dune jumps in. Bim's getting away there. Toulouse is ready, as is Falstad, to go for Blade, and there is no burst heal for him. So Thrall is down. Karazim is also eliminated on the other hand, though. Beezy and Nasty, they both came in to take him down. So both teams now with 4 players on the spot here. Karazim on level 4 with a protective shield, and of course the focused attack on the side of Sonya. So right now we have still that Tribute being fought over, and it looks like we have maybe even a kill. Yes, Falstad, he goes down, attacked and taken apart. Nasty gets slammed into the ground but gets away and gets healed at the same time now. But Jaina is already dead. So Jaina for quite some time actually surviving, getting healed there by Valfurion, but then in the end taken down anyways. Our Arcane, Toulouse, Bus Driver and Zedun are still in position to go for the Tribute, and especially Sonya is playing it very close here. I mean, she's going in over and over again, trying to heal herself with Whirlwind there, but that's also an invitation for the opponent to go in for a bit more damage and poke from a distance. Level 7 talents are a bit faster now though for Team Gringos. The Degringolade Gaming is with the talent just a tiny bit faster, and therefore they have a slight edge over the Goofers right now that they're trying to use to get the first Tribute here. Already Jaina on the way down to the bot lane, so they more or less already gave up on it. The only idea here was still to delay it a bit longer to give Jaina an opportunity to soak more EXP. But now we have the Fission Bomb taken on level 7. We are also seeing now the Just Keep Rockin' taken here for ETC. Follow through, of course, as the talent for Thrall. And Frostbitten for Jaina, as we are seeing now Enduring Growth for Malfurion. So, yes, of course, a couple of options in level 7 as well. But normally when you go for a full heal build, it is Enduring Growth into Life Seed on 13. It's always the question if you can really play without having the Ice Block on 13, yes or no. I mean, in this case, we have still a couple of heroes that can lock you down, but in theory, Bims could really try to just like rely on ETC and also Thrall the Pure for him and go into the full heal build with Life Seed on 13. So we're going to see how exactly he's going to play it here. Sonya went in the Ferocious Healing. We have seen a couple of Sonya players leaning towards follow through again for the extra damage, but in this case, having Ferocious Healing is going to help her. Help to keep her alive, and especially with Karazim in the setup, it kind of makes sense to try and do exactly that. Karazim, of course, is going on level 13 for his Circle of Life, which is going to be pretty amazing since he's going to be at the front line with at least 2 heroes, maybe even more than that. But now that we have another Tribute on the map, it looks like, at least for now, the Gringos will join the party a bit late because they do not have... Well, they have to burst this camp down first. They don't have a camp pushing the lane. Oh, up at the top here! What is Toulouse doing? Kel'Thas being caught in a pretty shitty spot, pushed right into that boss, and that should result in an easy Tribute on the side of Team Goofers. So yeah, that was actually like an easy one. Falstad, on the other hand, didn't even fly up. He probably already saw that, and I guess that Karazim called it early and said, like, boys, I ran into a bit of trouble up here, and I guess we should not go for the Tribute, so at least try to soak a bit of experience and get us a bit farther ahead. 4 kills against 2 in favor of the Goofers, but still 1 Tribute for each team, and I suppose that both of them are going to hit level 10 at the same time. But we have camps taken again on the map, both of the teams going for the Siege Giants right away after they respawn. And we don't see Divine Palm, so with that Sonya in play, we could have definitely seen a Divine Palm here, but instead it is currently, again, the 7-sided strike. Wrath of the Berserk for Sonya, with also Phoenix, Avatar, and Mighty Gust now chosen. And when we're looking at the level 10 talents on the side of the Goofers, it's kind of what we expected. Tranquility, first of all, to count out most of the damage that Khaldor can dish out. And then we have the Ring of Frost as a combo of Mosh Pit, which is going to be pretty strong, Sundering, and also Strafe. And then boss attempt early on, and this one is actually looking very, very good. Nobody is going for the boss at the bot lane just yet, but we have a tribute spawning here, but it looks really nice. That was really well timed. I mean, you of course can anticipate the tributes, and as long as Falstad is maybe having an opportunity, is there a storm bolt? Yes, there is! So they actually cancel the tribute. Here's a boss taken as well. Mighty Gust! No, they don't get it. They're just a bit too late. They were a bit scared here. I really feel that they had an opportunity to do a bit more in this scenario. But as is, they go in. Also, the Wrath of the Berserker. Bims with the Tranquility immediately, trying to keep himself alive. Big fight. Now Furion down. Thrall is dying as well. The Mosh Pit is good, but is it good enough? It doesn't look like it is. It's a 2-for-2 kill, though. And Nasty is now falling. Oh my god, he gets away. Nasty actually gets away from this one. What? Wow, I really thought that we would die too. That would have been great for the Gringos, but as is, they started off strong, and then that Mosh Pit hit and did a whole lot of damage and took down Muradin and Falstad in the end. So yeah, pretty sweet fights here actually. The top lane boss has already done quite a lot of damage and is most likely going to take this fort down. There's a slight experience lead that we're currently seeing, and already a fight down here where we have maybe a Mighty Gust being used to zone them out. Phoenix already in play, our Arcane still trying to go for tribute. There's the Netherwind. They get all their players into position once again, but they have to retreat. That tribute is still there. They could have taken it actually. They went in a bit late, and now we have again the Goofers in position to challenge it. So they try to just get into position to interrupt the channel over and over again. But we still have that Mighty Gust ready, and keep in mind that the 7-sided strike is also off cooldown. They go in though, and Muradin is immediately isolated. Nasty might actually fall if the cooldowns of our Arcane are getting ready, but no, he has to move away. This is just a bit too dangerous, and now it's a 5 versus 4. The Mighty Gust was too late. I feel they really had a couple of opportunities here to go for it, but now our Arcade is completely isolated on the map. He went to the left side, tried to dodge it, but now he's down, and that means we have a 5 versus 3 situation. And that's of course just an easy tribute again, which is the second tribute here for the Goofers. It really looked like we had a bit of an opportunity for the Gringos here to turn this around, but in this case it was just, yeah, they just wasted a little bit too much time. After they kind of won that fight earlier, they went for the tribute a bit too late. Now both of the teams are on level 13. It's not like they're behind on anything. The teams are still on eye level. But still, there was a bit of a chance for the Gringos to make a bit more out of the situation, and it just didn't work out for them. On the other hand, now they have the level 13 Talon Kelthas, and with the chain bombs, they're of course going to try to dominate these fights, especially at the front line. We have quite a couple of spell shields in the game right now. In the case of the Gringos, it's of course mainly against Jaina and also against that Thrall with his chain lighting that he just uses over and over again. Muradin with a level 13 talent spell shield, you can really see that he respects all that ability damage that we are seeing on the side of the Goofers. Did not go into the extra damage on his Thunderclap. Tribute again on the map, and that would be a cursed tribute. So in this case right now, they have to try and fly in. Nehi is there, sees everything, moves away, but the curse is hitting. Nice job here from the Goofers. Very well done, actually. The Goofers with very nice zoning here, nearly getting Falstad. I like, though, that he double-checked and didn't just, like, face-check the bush, but he used that power throw before to make sure that he didn't run into a trap, so he's able to get out of this one. We have, by the way, a double ice block. One on Jaina and the other one on Malfurion, so he did not go for Life Seal with a full heal build. I think especially in the last fight that we had down to the bot lane, he already learned his lesson, and, well, we saw Sonya just go straight for him, and he died super early in the fight. So in this case, he just said, like, hey, if I'm dead, I can't heal anything, so better not go for Life Seed and just make sure that I at least have the opportunity to use Tranquility into Ice Block to heal myself and the rest of you bad boys. The Curse, not really doing too much just yet, but it creates a bit of space. It also depushes the bot lane, where we have now the Siege Giants still doing a bit of damage. Top lane is also being pressured, and that's where we're currently seeing one of the forts, well, probably going to be taken down. There's a bit of a wraparound that we see from the blue team. They were probably hoping to catch somebody on the map here. didn't really work. Bot lane, Wall on the Siege Giants is down, second one. It's not falling. This is actually quite a bit of damage that we see there. And the top fort has been eliminated, but if you look at experience, it's not really that massive lead that you might expect from a Curse 10 minutes into the game. It's just a tiny lead that they currently have, and especially if that fort at the bot lane is being eliminated, if they can make that happen, that would probably negate the entire advantage that we are now seeing on the board for the Goofers. So pretty back and forth game so far. 4 kills against 8. When it comes to like the kills in general and also the fights, and the Goofers are still a little bit ahead, but they have to be careful. They also took down more structures. They eliminated 2 of the forts already, but the bottom fort, as I already pointed out a little bit earlier, is about to die. So the boss is up on the map again, and well, if you have a Thor with Sundering against you, you need to be careful. But I like the aggression of them, going in and trying to drop it immediately. Nehi needs to use the Mighty Gust, it does exactly that. Blade is moving in, Sundering, not used though, and the boss is taken. Bit of a risky play there, high risk, high reward. If the boss is stolen away, then they are in a lot of trouble. But as is, they were able to sneak it in. And now, of course, the Goofers have to react to it. And they are at the top lane with the entire team trying to burst it down, which opens up the boss at the bottom lane for the Gringos. So that's exactly where they're headed. So they move in. They have also, with a 40-second cooldown on Mighty Gust, the heroic ability of Fall Set ready again in just a few seconds. And that means that they can use it again to zone out the opponent. So they were behind. They knew exactly what the problem was here. And they sneak in the second boss right now. Double boss for them. Well played. As I said though, it is a risk. If that Thrall moves in a little bit faster than that, and they get an opportunity to use nice Sundering there, the boss could be stolen away, you could lose a hero, and then you're even farther behind. And with both of the teams nearing level 16, that would have led to a talent advantage for the opponent as well. As is though, they played it really nice, very controlled, having that 4th set in position for the Mighty Gust right from the get-go, and that allows them now to fight on 16 versus 16 with a boss at the bot lane. Sonya took another wave in the middle of the map to make sure that they get the talent a tiny bit earlier. And there we have it now. Also the Tenacious Roots being used, and they are both moving in immediately. Nerves of Steel on Sonya. Circle of Life has been chosen. Kel'Thas and Falstead down. The mosh pit just too good. And even with the boss, this is looking bad. The boss, of course, going through the towers, but now Mirrodin is also eliminated, locked down by that Tenacious Root. And the Goofers, they showcase once again why they have more kills in this game. Their team fight control is just a lot better. That mosh pit was exactly what they needed in this situation, making sure that they get the lockdown against 2 of the heroes, and especially those damage dealers that we had there in the back were, of course, one of those targets that you want to get as fast as possible. So job well done here. Thrall, by the way, with level 16, also heading into Blood for Blood right now. Nasty apparently with a bit of lag. We didn't really see too much of that in that last fight. That was extremely well played. We have also now Speed Metal taken for a bit of a speed advantage during those fights too. And well, Thrall did let go of that Forked Lightning that you have on level 16 if you really want it. So he went to the Blood for Blood, apparently just saying, hey, with only Malfurion as the heal, I need something that gives me just a bit more survivability, like on point when I'm really in trouble. And that's, of course, where Blood for Blood is just absolutely phenomenal. It's one of those talents that you can take in such a situation. He lets a bit of damage go in favor of it, but still, this is working out quite well for him. So, that being said, looking at, once again, the damage in particular, we have 29,000 currently on Vala. And we're also seeing at the same time 25,000 on Thrall, who died 2 times, which is, I can guarantee you that, one of the reasons why he went for Blood here, because he has already 2 deaths. He's at the front line together with ETC, so he's one of the priority targets that you can burst down if you overextend just a tiny bit. Your opponent can try to lock you down with another window on Kel'Thas, and also, of course, with Mirrodin here. Yeah, well, and talking about Kel'Thas, 22,000 hero damage is not really all too bad, but of course it's just not measuring up to what we see on Thrall and Vala. That's where chain bombs usually are supposed to do a little bit more damage. The problem for Kel'Thas in these situations is that he's just bursted down too fast. Like, he has 2 deaths, but both of the times he died early on during those team fights, and that of course didn't really allow him to poke with the chain bombs from a safe distance from the backline. When talking about siege damage, he is still taking the spot here, the top spot together with Vala, 71 and 72,000, but still. Yeah, and overall 11 kills against 4, in a pretty tricky situation here now for the for the Gringos. I mean, that double boss move was pretty smart, and I really liked that quite a bit. But right now they are in trouble. Bims is taking another tribute. it's not really threatening the Gringos just yet, but it's just like one of these things where, of course, with the tribute, it's making sure that the Gringos are not going to get a curse anytime soon. So with the curse now taken, oh sorry, not the curse, but the tribute, we have the top lane with more experience for the blue team. They are already ahead, and they are just going to try to cement the situation even more with like heroes on every lane right now, getting a bit of experience. As long as there are 3 heroes dead for the Gringos, they can do that quite easily. Make sure that they capitalize on that advantage by just taking a few camps on the map, getting the experience on lane, and getting even farther ahead in the match. You're already seeing ETC and also like Bims now with the first bruiser camp that they took at the top lane. Jaina, after she actually deep pushed the top and took the wave, went straight to help out Blade on Thrall, so they get that Siege Giant camp now as well. And everybody else is now moving together into the mid lane, bursting a few of the camps away. But yeah, level 17, nearly 18, so an entire level lead that we're currently seeing on the side of the Goofers. And the Gringos, they have to really try and maybe like take or win a fight before level 20. That would be the ideal scenario for them. Yeah, ETC, whoa, nearly taken down. The bomb's not eliminating him. And unfortunately, Toulouse missed his Netherwind. If that Netherwind hits, then ETC is dead for sure, and that would be exactly what they need. But now here comes Thrall from the side. They burst down Falstad, and Blade at the front again. There's so much damage against Thrall, and they take him down. This time, finally, we see some damage from Khaldor, but it is still Sonya that dies next, turning into a 5 versus 3 in favor of the Goofers. And they eliminate now Karazhan too. The attempt of Team Gringos to actually make this happen is failed, and that is the end of Muradin as well. So it's a 4-hero death circle once more. Toulouse the only one surviving, but that doesn't really help him. Another tribute is going to be taken, and if they are not careful, then Toulouse might be taken out too. There's no follow-up for that route, but yeah, it could have been easily. 19 versus 17 in kills. We are 15 against 5 right now. Very solid situation for the Goofers, and they just showcase once again why they are one of those teams that really try to just reach the top in Europe. They have been around for quite some time. They've already always shown solid games. They can't really make that leap into like the top 5 in Europe, but they're always trying and they're always close. So for now, we're having also Blade, Bims, and everybody else just like gathering up again. They know that level 20 is going to hit soon for them, and if they can make that work together with the next curse tribute spawning on the map, that would be fantastic, since it would allow them to curse the opponent and maybe carry the objective into another, well, maybe another structure kill. You have to think about it this way. They have been killing a lot of heroes, right? I mean, they've been on 15 kills already. They're against 5. But they haven't really capitalized on it in the sense that they did take down a keep. So all the keeps are still available for the Gringos. And at the same time, there's even a fort in the mid lane. So with the Storm talents and with all that, you need to make sure that you get an opportunity to really take those things down. Because once that we are seeing the Gringos on level 20 as well, it's again a fight on eye level. Both of the teams would have Storm talents. So that's one of the things that the Goofers have to take care of eventually. Getting ahead in those fights, winning the battles is absolutely fantastic, but they need to make sure that they capitalize on it properly. And here we have another tribute being attacked, and this would be a curse tribute against the Gringos. Oh, Muradin already jumping out, missing that Stormbolt, Yanomi style, and saying like, alright, let's get out of this one. But nobody is actually thinking about going for it. Instead, Blade is seeing if he maybe can isolate somebody with a quick sunbreak. But he can't really do that. So now level 20 talents are ready, and that is one of those moments when they go immediately for boss. Toulouse with a vision, and they have full stack, keep that in mind, but Lotus is already there. Nehi, yeah, he has to barrel roll away from this one. So the Goofers, of course, they know fully well what's the risk. And now Khaldor is extremely alone, and yeah, well, goodbye, buddy. So this is another 5 versus 4. Smart play on the side of the Goofers, and they're going to take that tribute perfectly timed so that the boss is going to get a maximum amount of damage in while the curse is active. So they move in, they have a quadruple bolt of the storm on 4 of their heroes, and we are seeing the storm shield, and that of course should help them to at least take down the keep, if not end the game. We're talking about an 18-minute boss right now with a curse as well. Sonya has taken a camp at the bot lane during all of this, trying to just at least get some deep push on a few of the lanes, but now we're seeing the Goofers move in and they are looking for a kill. Karazhan is already dead, Mighty Gas has been used, and if another hero is locked down now, then it would be lights out. The Goofers, they're going for it, they're moving in, Tranquility has been used, Bims could go for the icebox still. Oh, but Lotus is down. No more ETC for them, but they try to finish the game and they have the damage They take down the core, and this is game, ladies and gentlemen. GG. We're having the Goofers moving on to the next round of the tournament. Well played, and a victory on KhaldorTV.
And that is it, everybody. GG and well played. The game's over, and therefore also the video for today here on KhaldorTV. We had another great Heroes of the Storm match, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Also hope that you enjoyed the commentary, of course. So thank you very much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up on YouTube. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to KhaldorTV yet, you should definitely hit that sub button as well. If you have some friends that like Heroes of the Storm, then definitely make sure that you show them the channel and also the video. There's a lot more where that came from. We're going to have like continuous content throughout the next few weeks with more Heroes of the Storm matches played, not only on the European server, but also on the North American server, in tournaments, in leagues, and more than that. So guys, once again, thank you very much for tuning in today. I hope that you had some fun. It was a pleasure casting for you. And I'm going to see you next time with even more videos here on the channel. So have a great day and see you soon. Bye-bye.